We'll give everybody a few minutes to come in. While that happens, if you have any other questions or things that you'd like me to answer, as usual, throw them down below. It's nice to be here with you. I haven't been here in more than a few weeks, so it's nice to kind of hop in and hang out with you guys for a little bit. So welcome, welcome. Um, let's see. Recap what's happening today. Podcast that's going to be happening in just about an hour's time is going to be Doubt and Rich are talking about some car trends that need to die. So that's coming up. In addition to that, this Friday, we are going to have another piece of content like we do every Friday on our YouTube channel. This will be a What's Fit guide on the Civic Type R. Now, what's interesting is if you haven't been checking out some of these What Fit guides that we've been doing, we're basically making like a video fitment guide that is going to kind of specify what fits a certain cars. And what we do is we walk through different levels of fitment, right? So we start out with kind of what an OE replacement fitment would be. Then we walk through with, what would be something if you just want to do a mild bolt-on that's a little bit more aggressive. And then we go on to like all the wheel you can fit. And then we get into the YOLO stuff, right? The you only live once type fitment where there's going to require some modification, but we try to break it down for every different genre of car that we do. And this week on Friday, we're going to be doing the Civic Type R. We already did the 11th Gen Civic, which actually did pretty well. So if you have an 11th Gen Civic, you'd like to know exactly what wheels fit in your car, head over to our YouTube channel, KONIG Wheels USA. Click subscribe because that's always fun. And, check out some stuff. We got some stuff.
Did you watch Formula Drift last weekend?
A little bit, yeah.
It's pretty good.
On and off. It definitely feels a little different to me this year, but there
I don't understand. I don't get what's going on.
With what?
With the new reseeding, bracketing, and all the there's so many competitors and Pro Spec and Pro, and it's just a lot going on. Yeah.
I don't find it to be that hard. I really like the new format for those FD people in here. I personally feel that the new format is exciting. I like not having qualifying take up so much time. I like that we get into battles right away. And I like the idea that we, are seeing some of these things kind of transpire a little bit quicker, kind of puts a little bit more of a drama, but excitement to the whole thing. So that's cool.
We got Axe Sumped saying, got my reels recently, still love them.
Thank you, appreciate it. If you have any photos, tag us in them. We always like to see them.
We got Josh Datton here. He says, howdy, are you rocking with Kendrick or Drake?
I don't get into that crap. I love, so here's the thing. What I mean by that is I do listen to both their music. Probably a little bit less Drake since he got all like Drakey, Like I like this first album and some of the stuff when he was on mixtapes, and then, he got all Drakey, and I feel like a lot of it sounds a little similar. But as far as taking sides, I mean, who the hell?
It's a good way to put it.
I'm a white dude from the suburbs of New York.
Drakey, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's he like I like Drake as a musician, right? But I struggle with. I feel like a lot of his later music feels like it's all the same.
It's singing.
No, he used to sing, and I think that's why I liked it a little bit more. Maybe I don't know.
Street Infamy says, "Dude, what are you drinking?"
Oh, it's water. I'm fat. I need to reduce fat.
It's water.
The way to reduce fat is drink water.
We got Omar saying, hello, what kind of wheels are those in the background? That's caught my eye. I really like them. Might be talking about the Hypertrails.
Are we talking about the Mark 1? Or are we
probably both, because they're both pretty nice looking.
This is a Hypertrail series wheel. It's cool. If you've seen Motion Auto's latest Tacoma giveaway, they're on there. Not this wheel. I think the HC2. But we run these wheels. This is a new truck. A couple wheels in Konig's line, been pretty popular as far as some of the stuff we've been putting out lately. And then the Mark 1, which will be, we had some drop the other day. Some of them are in stock. It's happening. So, make sure you get those back orders in, or because I know we have a lot more coming in first week of June. So get them in if you got it going. They're really coming this time.
Perfect timing, because Screwed Up Jahan asks, when are the Mark 1s being released?
Yeah, there you go. We have some that dropped. They came into stock yesterday, and we have a lot more that are coming the first week of June. So just a few weeks for most of the other ones to show up.
We got C. Murphy says, do you think we'll see the Mark 1 in 19.8.5, 19.9.5, 5 and 120? Shout out from Tennessee.
Yeah. Because if you go to the website now, we actually somebody said what happened was with the you're talking about. So we made the 19 8.5 5120. That was done. Then we started to see some demand in the 19 9.5. Maybe some of it was you 5120. We added that part number just a few days ago, and it's going into production in about 30 days. But that kind of puts us in a kind of beginning of August landing time. But yes, 19 9.5 5120. It's gonna happen.
Metal Guy says, saw that reel. Mark 1 is sweet. Do you have one with you?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's one right
Oh,
there.
there it is.
Yeah, I
There
mean,
you
it's
go,
not,
Metal Guy.
we don't have the best lighting on it, so it looks a little darker than I think it usually is, but it's there.
Nice. Pretty Ricky in the house.
What's up, man?
He says, are you an OEM spec plus, or YOLO spec fitment on your car kind of person?
So I'm kind of between the OEM plus and the YOLO spec. Right?
You're pretty YOLO.
When it comes down to wheel fitment, I believe that you should put every ounce of wheel, not talk about weight and talk about fitment, but I believe you should put the most amount of wheel and tire that you could put on a car without having to do like crazy modifications, right? Like when I say crazy, like my Z, so I run a 305 in the rear. I run anywhere from an 18 10.5 to like an 18 by 11, or sometimes I'll go 19s, but again, 19 10.5 to an 19 by 11 in the rear. And I try to use it. I always use a 305. So, and in the front, I run 275s, and I run a 9.5 and around 25. So now I have rolled the quarters on my car, but not to do anything crazy, just to roll the lip up, so I don't have to worry about any sharp, tire diving. But for the most part, it's completely functional though. Like the entire contact patch of that tire is on the ground. I promise you. So I don't believe in doing something that's like putting a wider wheel or a wider tire on a car that can't accept it, and then you have to cheat with camber, and then all of a sudden you're not throwing most of that contact patch on the ground.
JWC Newton says, very excited for the Mark 1. Please get them to Europe ASAP for my E30.
Yeah, so they're going to take a little bit longer to get to Europe. I know that's something that, you're going to find those wheels through racingwheels.eu. They're in production. They're going, but I would imagine you still probably have another 60 days.
Great comment by Street Infamy. Says, Scott, we all know your Z's undercarriage is spotless.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fly to the Taco says, the Koenig Hypergrams fit 2006 Volvo S60 T5 bolt pattern.
51108. Yeah, I mean, yes. As far as the S60 goes, it's not an R, right? Because as long as it has a stock brakes, I believe that you should be fine with an 18 8.5, especially like in the 42 range. You'll be good there.
They said no T5.
No T5.
They just said in a follow-up comment, no T5. So I guess it's just a Volvo S60.
Okay, I mean T5. He would just be referring to me the engine, right?
Okay.
Like turbo 5-cylinder, right? So I'm not super great with the Volvo cars, and the person that would be great if you happen to be in Europe would be Wyborg Engineering, which is racingwheels.eu. But if you're not, then send a message into one of our techs and we'll check it out. I'll be honest with you, I'm not great as much as I want an 850 turbo because I think they're super cool. I'll tell you. Let me tell you a little Volvo story. Not that anybody's gonna care, but I don't care. I'm telling you anyway. I was in Sweden a few weeks ago, and I got to go to the Volvo Museum,
Nice.
and they had some really great, pristine, early 2000s, late 90s, like 850 turbo wagons and stuff like that. And I kind of wanted to hop in one and drive it off, but then how would I get it back? So
That was awesome.
anyhow.
Let's see, we got RB asking, need old school 18-inch Koenig reins. Can you get them?
No, I mean, that wheel has to be 15, 18.
I was thinking more.
18, 19,
Wow.
19, maybe 20 years old.
Were you here for that?
Right at the tail end, yeah.
Okay. We got, let's see. Joel Morrison says, shout out Koenig family. Thanks for the sick hypergrams. Grid Life Midwest up next.
What's up, Joel? Way to go. Congratulations. And throwing another season in there. Good luck.
Blueberry says, hey guys.
Thanks. What's up?
We got Omar says, thank you very much.
Omar.
We got Blueberry asking again, what you drinking, Scott?
Just water, man. Just water in a fruity cup.
Let's see.
My wife's fruity cup.
CLT Brian asks, is it diet water?
Oh yeah, it's definitely the water zero.
See, we got GLI Monkey 19 by 8.5, 5 and 112, gloss black or bronze?
I don't know what kind of car it is.
GLI.
What color car is it? Do you know?
I don't know. Looks white, but let us know, GLI Monkey.
I mean, look, here's what I'll say. Those are two completely different looks, but if you have a white car, you have the amazing opportunity to really make a distinct impact on what you want to do. I mean, look, you could put the white and the black together and do the panda type thing, and you can make a car suit look super tough. Now, there's this other thing where you could put bronze wheels on this thing and make your car really stand out, and they both go really well with white. You got that's to me, white is one of the perfect car colors to be able to do some really great things with.
Pretty
cool.
Pretty Ricky Z4M. Scott talking about rap beefs and fitment. Life is good.
Yeah, maybe sometimes, but
MZ3 asks, do I need shorter lug nuts for the Mark 1? I have regular open-ended Mutegis. Not sure if they'll get in the way of the lug cover.
So what we did was, if you have extended studs, that's where you'll get into a problem. As far as the lug nuts go, I mean, I can't tell. There's so many different lug nut manufacturers out there. I can't tell you the exact length of every one. So I would say maybe. But for the most part, we made sure that there was a good amount of depth under that lid. So I think you're going to be okay. But I mean, the opportunity could present itself. It's hard because if you want to message us the length of the lug nut from the bottom of the seat to the top of the lug nut, we should be able to figure that out for you.
CK the infamous, will there be an option to add the Mark 1 covers to other wheels?
No. Nope, Mark 1 cover is designed specifically for the Mark 1 wheel. Now, we have played with the idea of using some development in the future, developing some future designs that would use the same type of gear cap, and if it does, then the disc, we could potentially make the disc work. But I will tell you that it's not going to be a rack retrofit because you would need that same threaded cap type thing, and that's not what we have on the other wheels.
Flight of the Taco says, you should have got the 850 when you were in Sweden. Haha. All Volvo wagons are sick to me, and I'm from the United States.
Yeah, look, you know what was interesting as I traveled around Europe a little bit just a few weeks ago doing some work stuff. Germany specifically, they get all the cool wagons. They got cars there that I had never seen before. I'm not talking about models. I mean, like M4 wagons. I mean, I've seen them in pictures, but like when you see them in person,
you see, we're getting the M5 wagon though.
What?
They're bringing the M5 wagon over. That's
I think I saw something like that.
Cool.
And don't
Not
get
as
me wrong.
cool,
I mean,
but...
if you give me a choice, I would choose to. If you said, pick one car that you could daily drive, it would really be hard between like an R35 GTR and an RS6 Avant. Like, those two cars are sick, right?
See, but you could bring both kids, the whole family in the RS6 Avant.
The RS6 Avant is just such a good car. It's really expensive, but...
How expensive?
It's got to be over $100,000.
Oh, man, okay.
So, anyhow, bottom line is, they got all the good wagons. I'll tell you another little tidbit that I figured out when I was over there in Europe. Did you know that some of the windshield angles are completely different from the US cars? Like, I couldn't quite figure it out. Some of the cars that were over there, they were like the same models, but they looked just different enough where I was like, what is the difference on the car? And one of the guys I was with actually had pointed out, he's from Germany. He goes, oh, that's because of the windshields. And I said, why? What's the windshield? He said, the laydown angles are different. Because over there, when they crash test, they don't have to worry about, I guess, the airbags and the windows or something like that. And because of that, they have different angles on the windshields. US have their own specified things that kind of meet tolerance. Very interesting.
So it's what? It's more aerodynamic in a way for them?
I don't know the reasoning behind it. This was just casual conversation, but...
Grizzly R35 says, I need y'all to check out my R35.
Done. I love R35s.
Fly of the Taco says, I'll definitely give you guys a message or a call when I get ready to order my hypergrams.
Yeah, no doubt.
We got a... Brody asks, Porsche 987 with Mark 1 sizing.
No, we didn't do the Mark 1 in 5-130, but the good news is the Forge product that we've been saying, we actually have, a lot of it is now on the water. moving over here, and I believe we should have. Trying to think if it's in the first batch. If not, it's a couple weeks after that. But we do have forged fitment for the 987 and 981, and we also have 997 fitment too. So go check that out. You can figure out what fits your car. Just go to konigwheels.com/forge.
Untold Prodigy says you should showcase some wheels.
Sure. What would you like to see? We're here.
We got that Hyper-Trail's looking pretty good behind you.
Yeah, but I mean, these are not truck people. If you are a truck person and you want to see wheels, let us know. But if not, I mean, we have wheels, man. We got wheels. We got lots of wheels. We got wheels over here. We got wheels over there.
GLI Monkey, the guy who was asking about bronze or black wheels earlier, he says he has a King's Red. His color is King's Red.
Oh, I would go the black then. I go gloss black all day then.
Okay. I like bronze on red though. So sometimes
it's a very, very, very specific look,
Yeah.
and I think it's cool. And it was something we definitely did back in the day. And I think there's a lot of cars that could pull it off. On a European car, like we're gonna lump in, your GLI, in red. I'm gonna say it may just look too tunerish. You want to kind of walk that line. I would go with black. Again, personal opinion. I think you should do whatever you want.
TTV Asian says, can I have some wheel recommendations?
You're gonna have to give us a car.
Yeah, let us know your
color.
car.
Give us some deets.
Cow's Dreams says, if you have 18s and run 19s, will that mess with your speed?
No, but let me caveat that. The reason it won't is because when you go up on wheel size, you're going to compensate by making sure that the tire obviously gets a little smaller on the profile. And so basically what we call there, and you've seen videos on our YouTube channel where we talk about this a lot, whenever you change your wheel size, you always have to make sure that you get the correct size tire to maintain your overall rolling diameter. So in other words, what happens is just because you change the wheel size on the inside of the tire, you're compensating with the tire size so that technically the overall height of the wheel and tire package never changes. And as long as you don't change that, your gearing and vehicle stability systems and your speedometer and all that stuff will be exactly the same.
C. Murphy says, definitely love to see the Mark 1s mounted on something.
Yeah, it's coming up. We have some stuff lined up, and we're working on some stuff right now. So, probably a few weeks.
Pretty Ricky says, I've seen other wheel brands do the dual bolt pattern under screw and center caps. What was the reasoning for the Mark 1?
Oh, you mean what? All right. So I think what you're asking is, why do we go with a covered plate over the Mark 1? I mean, the truth of the matter is, the reason we did the covered plate was because we wanted to do this big spin-on cut type cap and clean up the design of the wheel. We kind of had this DTM racing thing in mind when we were playing with it. And if you want to find out more about the development of the Mark 1, listen, go over to our YouTube channel. We did this wheel probably a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that was basically like the entire development of the Mark 1. We walked you through every iteration. We showed you every iteration of design. It's wild what this wheel looked like way before. It really is. I mean, that just gave me an idea for a social clip. We should definitely put up one of those things where it shows like the first iteration of what that design looked like, and say like, did you ever wonder how we got from this to this? Go check out the video. Okay. Right. Sorry.
And we show each iteration.
Little side note there, right?
Sidebar.
But that's over there on YouTube. So anyhow, so our wheel is not dual drill, and here's why. Because as a wheel snob myself, I don't like dual drill wheels. I just feel that they're really commodity. Sometimes you need them. Sometimes there's a project that requires it. I don't really love them. Now, what's interesting is if you pull the center cap off, the cover plate off the Mark 1, you'll notice that it actually does have pretty big holes that looks like it's dual drill. It's not. They're lightning holes. One has a seat to it, one completely square. And the reason we went with the lightning holes is to remove as much weight as we possibly could out of the wheel. But as far as the wheel being dual drill, it's not dual drill. The cover plate is there, and then again, the cover plate comes off of the wheel, and the aero disc would then go on to replace the cover plate, and then you use the cap to secure it both to the wheel.
Konig family, Luis in the house.
Yeah?
Yeah, I am Prevail. Says, Europe has so many brands of cars that I've never heard of. It's weird.
Yeah, Skoda, Cupra,
Cupra? I've
Peugeot.
never even heard of
Yeah,
Cupra.
Cupra is the
Okay.
big thing over there right now.
Wow.
They're like really lacing it up. Cupra.
What the heck? What country is that from?
I saw them in both Sweden and Germany.
Wow.
They're all over
Okay.
Europe. A lot of
CLT
cool stuff.
Bryant. CLT Bryant says, with the amount of brake dust on my wheels, I've got cookies and cream finish on my Ultragrams.
I don't know, man. If I can give you a virtual thumbs down right now,
You gotta clean those puppies.
I hear you.
He also says Audi RS4 wagons are.
Yeah, they're pretty good. One of the guys that actually works with our company over in Germany has that. It's a really nice car. I'm not a huge fan of the S4. I like the RS3, although it's a little small for me.
You do a RS4 wagon? That's cool.
Well, wait.
In
As
Europe.
far as I'm concerned, the RS4 was always a wagon on the earlier years
Okay.
anyway.
Okay. That's sweet.
Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure about that.
Joel Morrison says, truck line is so sick. Have you guys done a Bronco yet?
Yes, I know that there was a Bronco that put them on. We don't have the images yet, so hopefully soon.
C. Murphy says the Mark 1 video was a great video.
Hey.
I think he's talking about the evolution of the Mark
The
1
evolution.
too, yeah.
Yeah, the evolution of the design of the Mark 1 was pretty interesting. We kind of walked through exactly what it took to get there, and I kind of narrated a little bit.
This is an interesting comment by iJosh Dad. He says, an airbag going off in a car with the windows up is a pressure capsule. Changed my mind.
I'm sure it is. But remember that in every single car, they also have like quarter reliefs and different things that allow air movement in so that the flaps would open up. You would imagine that pressure would equalize pretty quickly. I'd imagine there's still going to be some sort of pressure change, maybe your ears pop, but like for the most part, air should be. Cars are not a sealed cabin, unfortunately. Fortunately or unfortunately. So hopefully.
Would it break the windows, you think?
What?
The pressure of the airbag going off with your windows closed if you're, let's say, your car is sealed.
If the only time you see an airbag, I mean, look, this is what these always test exhaustively with these things, but the only time you ever see a windshield be damaged or a window damaged from an airbag usually has to do with the fact that, like, if you look at the dash airbags, the ones that are usually flat against the dash on like a passenger side, they're designed to use the windshield to actually control the blow, right? So they're designed to pop straight up, and then when it fills the bag, it comes out. So the residual is not so hard at somebody's face. So that will usually blow the windshield.
Tip Top SR50 says, my last name is Koenig.
With an E though, right?
I don't know, you let us know, Tip Top. But he also says, I need wheels in Germany, please.
Yeah, so we're working with some people there to make that happen. The TV thing is the thing that we're working with. Obviously, every wheel's got to be TV'd. Some of them we have done already, but it's a much more arduous process because of the fact that every single wheel part number has to be filed with every single application. So,
We'll get a last call for questions just so we can let Scott go back to work here. So if you got any questions, pop them below.
Sweet.
We got Studis G37S Coupe saying, looking for multi-spoke wheels for my G37. Any good recommendations?
There's a lot. I mean, do you have Brembos? That's the first question. If you don't have Brembos, there's a lot of choices. Most of our Flowform wheels are going to work for you, without issue. You really just got to decide kind of what your flavor and style is. But once you figure that out, message us. We'll be happy to answer your question and see if we can get you some fitment advice.
Omar Rama asks or says, I really like the Mark 1 wheels, but I don't think they'll go too well with the Golf R32 Mark 4. What do you think? It has a deep blue pearl color.
So I think they'll go perfectly with that car.
Perfect.
I mean, like stupid perfect. If you're in that area where you're looking for a really nostalgic European type look, this will do that, and I believe it will look great on your car. However, if you're looking to do a more modern look, not have a little bit of a nod to retro and kind of nostalgia, then this just may not be your cup of tea. But that's your decision to make. I think the wheel will look completely amazing on your car, but again, gotta be your decision.
What size would you go with on that?
What's that?
What size would you go with on that?
He said he had a Mark IV, right? 32?
Yeah, Mark IV.
So you probably want to do like in the 18.5 32. I think that would probably do it.
Cisco 79X says, will the Mark 1 eventually come in different colors?
I mean, maybe. I don't want to say never says never. I mean, we've really this wheel's delayed quite a bit. We had the plan of having it out in March, and I mean, this is May. We had some drop in yesterday, and we had more that are coming the first week of June. So like, definitely not this year. Is it possible for future years it could come white or something like that? Yeah, I can see that, but it's not planned yet.
Cow's Dream says, thank you for answering my question.
Anytime, man. So
We got a K1D4. Work with AutoFred Montreal to supply them in Montreal would be sick.
There are wholesale distributors that are already up there in Canada. So you have JRP that wholesales to a lot of dealers, and you also have like ATD. You can bring them up there. A Tyrek Wholesale brings them up there. I know there's like KX Wheels and 1010 Wheels and a bunch of other people that bring them up there. So just work with your shop to figure out exactly kind of what works best for you. I know Turn 14 sends wheels up there. So you have a fair amount of people that actually get the wheels up there. You just need to tap into the right source there.
Cisco 79. Will there be any other wheels with the center lock lug cover?
Do I think that there will be? I do. We've started playing with a few for next year. The one thing I would say is that it really does depend on how the sales of the Mark I do. And the reason that is because I've said this to you before. We'll do a lot of different things. There has to be a supply and demand there for it. So we'll see how the Mark I does, and it may be something that if it does pretty well, you'll see the wheel sooner. If not, then you might see a follow-up, down the road. But I think there would be.
Flight of the Taco says, well, I'm back to work. Hope you all have a great day. Thanks for answering my questions.
Thanks for hanging out with us during your work time. Appreciate it, man.
JDM Ricky says, what's the strongest, lightest wheel for tracking?
I think it's hard because I don't know your bolt pattern, what you're doing. I think there's always going to be a little bit of that stuff. I think that from a strength part, I was pretty excited about a lot of the rigidity work that we did on the Ultragram. It has a different rear flange, has some different things we've been working in. Every wheel that we develop is going to have some other layer of different technology that we figure out as we go. That's just the nature of life, right? Like, as you get older, you get smarter. Well, we keep putting in all the feedback that we get from different designs. So there's that. We have a wheel that we're working on right now that obviously has a tremendous amount of that too. But again, that won't be out for 25. So I think Ultragram is probably right in that area where there's a lot of rigidity. I think that's a cool, strong wheel. But most of the wheels, again, they're going to take a pretty good beating. But remember, that like anything else, any wheel that you get and any wheel you run, if you put it through substantial abuse, if it is used in certain situations like racing where you're going to have a lot of flex and continued use, you may see wheels start to fatigue, and that's what we're talking about. And that's where Forge really shines. Its ability to resist fatiguing longer.
Ben Nimmer says, does the Mark I support off-road project Cayenne, Porsche Cayenne 5 and 130?
That's a good question. Mark I does not, because we don't build it in 5 130. Some of the Forge product we have coming out in 5 130 may work, but again, they're a different wheel. But no, that's interesting. It's interesting because I've just never really thought of the Mark I in that Cayenne type of scene, and that's kind of interesting. So
San Diego Miata Club.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because Rich is going to San Diego tomorrow.
Yep.
With leaving his Miata behind. Says, what wheel do you think best complements the ND3 MX5, and what finish for lighter colors?
It was an ND, right?
Mm-hmm. ND3 MX5.
What wheel? Does he have Brembos?
I'm not sure. Let us know there, San Diego Miata Club.
I mean, look, if you don't have Brembos on the
There's
ND,
a lot of options for
I think you have a tremendous amount of options. I mean, I personally would like an Ampliform on that car.
Mm-hmm.
I think an Ampliform really does a nice, classy look, but still provides a lot of performance. So I like that wheel on those cars. But there's certainly plenty of other ones. And if you go to Goodwin Racing, you'll be able to check and look. They just have all the options listed out. So
Can't go wrong with Hypergram or Hexaform on a Miata.
yeah, I mean, I just personally think it's been done plenty of. I do like the Ampliform on the car. I think it's clean and timeless.
Cisco asks, would the Mark I fit on a Elantra N?
Yeah, it definitely does.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
K1D4, you should work with Mark, Fred. We did that, Canada, Montreal, working with the distributor in Montreal. Swerve in 89, are we able to order specific offsets for the Mark 1? I'm looking for 18, 9.5 plus 22.
No. Whatever's built and is on the website, we always add specs if we feel that there's a demand for it, but the Mark 1 wouldn't be a 4 at a time type of project.
JDM Ricky, I think we answered this question for you, JDM Ricky, but we'll go again. What's your strongest, lightest wheel for track use?
Yeah, we kind of went through this already. So if you just missed it, like I said, it's all there.
Check out our flow form stuff. This will be posted to our page right after the live as well.
Yeah.
Blueberry says, window shopping for BMWs again. Got to save up for something dumb. Hey, I hear you on that.
I get it. I look at Facebook Marketplace like 4 times a day.
Alan Herfian says, what's your best selling wheel? What's your best selling model wheel?
It's hard to say because we do a lot of different segments and different things. We also build a lot of private label for other companies. But I would say in a flow form, I mean, certainly the Hypergram is right up there with some of the most popular. But although there's some SKUs like the Ampliform will kill it in. And then there's some other wheels that will kind of trump all those in different segments. When it comes down to some of the more mainstream stuff, I think Oversteer is really the one that gets the most amount of kind of popularity there.
Josh Dat says, goodbye, y'all. Love y'all. Later, Josh.
Peace out, man. Have a good week.
San Diego Miata Club says, thanks for the answers.
No doubt. Thank you for the consideration.
Ralph360 says, will there be more finishes in the Mark 1's future? We just answered that question. Sorry, Ralph, but
yeah, we just hit it up before, so.
Yeah, give it a couple minutes. It'll be posted on our page. Cow's Dream says, you should do white for your rims. I rock white on a silver car. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so we have 1 or 2 wheels in white. I think the Oversteer you can get in white, and so is the Hexaform, depending on which size you have.
And we'll go with our last comment tonight, because this is probably one of our biggest fans. Blueberry, we appreciate you. Blueberry says, considering an E92 right now, obviously I'm going to put Konigs on it, probably heliograms.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the heliograms look good on those cars, man. It's pretty interesting. We do so many more wheels in BMW in Europe, with racingwheels.eu, and they do some crazy track cars over there. It's been interesting to see how many different types of wheels end up on those cars, and I would say I've definitely seen some heliograms that look perfect. So that's it. That's all from me. Don't forget the podcast coming out just in about a half an hour's time on our YouTube channel, KONIG WHEELS USA. We drop that. Don't forget you can also take us with you in your car or on your phone or on your run or anywhere else where podcasts are going to end up in your hands. We're on all of them, many of them, a lot of them. We're on a lot of them. You can get the podcast there.
Like, who listens to iHeartRadio anymore?
Why?
I don't know. Do you still have that app? That was 10 years ago, iHeartRadio.
10 years ago. Max thinks that everybody uses technology like he does.
Yeah,
anyhow, with that said, you can go listen to the podcast, take us with you anywhere you want to go. And then if not, you want to watch the whole visual thing to see our pretty faces, which I don't understand why you would. But if you do, it's on our YouTube channel, KONIG WHEELS USA. Don't forget this Friday, What Fits is going to be on the Civic Type R. So check that out. And that's it. We'll catch you on the next one, Wednesday, 2 p.m. when we do this whole thing. Catch you later.